What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. This is going to be a two-parter. If you have not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Help me reach my goal to 1,000. I would so much appreciate it. Since the NBA draft has been going on, been kind of crazy, let's jump into it. I'm going to go probably the top 10, so 5 and 5 in each episode. So first off, this is from CBS NBA. This is by Gary Parrish. So this is the first round grades. So Minnesota Timberwolves actually wound up drafting Anthony Edwards, of course, out of Georgia. I am really surprised. I did not really see that coming. Although I shouldn't be really surprised because he is very talented. Like Gary Parrish said, he's tremendously talented with a great pedigree, but I'm not enthusiastic. I realize that any pick of the top this flawed draft was not going to be perfect. I don't know if I would say it was a flawed draft, to be honest. However, he gave this pick a B+. I agree, but I think he's going to be pretty good with the team. Just give it time. You know, he's still young. So I think he's going to be really nice going into Minnesota and watching them play. I think Anthony's going to be good. Will he start his rookie year? Probably so. I mean, he is a first picker. So we'll see. So number 2 was Golden State Warriors, James Wiseman out of Memphis. This is really not a surprise pick. Will this help the fact that Klay Thompson is hurt? I don't think so. Klay really did take a hard hit again, of course. But, you know, Golden State's been without him pretty much off and on for 2 seasons now. This is going on the second season. They're having to learn how to play without him. Not having Klay around is really going to hurt. So we'll see how that's actually going to work. So if Klay did not get hurt, this would have been tremendous, like all of them together with him, Steph, and then Draymond Green. That would have been a really good team right there, you know. So what will happen with all this, I don't really know. Will Golden State actually compete pretty well? I don't know. We'll see about that. We'll see. I mean, they got the second pick. They drafted somebody that they thought they needed, and I think Wiseman was a really good choice for them. And Gary Parrish gave him an A+ for that. I agree. I don't say so much as A+, I say A-. Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo Ball. Everybody thought he was going to go first pick, and so did his father, of course. So now Ball was Gary Parrish's number 1 prospect in this draft class. That was a no-brainer. Charlotte has had good guards. How will he actually be able to be potential for Charlotte? We'll see. You know, they gave him an A+. That's not really surprised that Charlotte actually really drafted him, but we'll see how well he's going to actually play with Charlotte. I think he's an outstanding player. I'm not going to lie. I'll just say A in general, not A+, not E-, just a natural A. So we'll see how well he's going to pan out in Charlotte. Now, Chicago had the number 4th pick. They wound up drafting Patrick Williams out of Florida State. Gary Parrish gave him a C-. I agree. I think it's a C on this. He's a pretty decent player, but he sits 8 and 225 pounds. So he's a big guy, and he's strong. So how will he be able to perform? Okay, he's not a great shooter yet. However, defense, too. You got to think about defense. I see this guy being a good defensive player. You know, all in all, I didn't watch this guy in college, but I can see him being a size man to where he can actually be very good defensive-wise. You don't have to be a good shooter. Defensive, you need rebounds. You just steals. I mean, if this guy can do at least 2-3 things, not everybody's going to be a shooter. So you got to think about that, too. You know, we'll see about that. You know, Gary Parrish gave him a C- for this. I say a B, or I say a higher C. I say a C+. So we'll see about that. Cleveland Cavaliers had Isaac Okoro out of Auburn. Now, Gary Parrish is saying this is not what he would have done with this pick, but he understands it. He's a tremendous prospect, especially what he can do on the defensive end. Once again, that's a big thing too, not just offense, not just shooting abilities or anything like that. You have to have your defense. You know, you have to have good players for defense as well. I mean, you got to think about both sides of the court. I'm gonna say, I was about to say field, but both sides of the court. So he also has great maturity and instincts. I agree with that. I think he's going to be very interesting player to watch at a professional level. If he develops a reliable jump, Parrish said, a reliable jump shot. I'm going to say, I'm sorry, a big if right now. He's going to be great. And he gave Cleveland a B plus for that. So we'll see how well, this guy can actually perform with the team. I mean, we'll just see about that. So, some of these picks were not even projected in the top 5. So it was really interesting to see what all these teams actually did with their picks and how well they actually contribute to what they needed. And it really does sting for Golden State because Clay's not reliable anymore. Even if he does get to come back next season, what then? Can you trust him to be a good player? Can you trust him? I mean, he's got a long, long road ahead, I mean, prayers up for Clay, but it's tough for Golden State. What do you do in that situation? James Wiseman, you bring in a young player, and I think he's going to be able to impact this team tremendously eventually. I mean, it's going to take a little time. Steph Curry's going to have to really step up. Draymond Green's going to have to really step up and be more competitive and take Wiseman underneath their arms and just kind of go with it. And I think this is going to be probably one of the biggest drafts of the first round, just because of what Golden State's having to go through all over again, pretty much. And, we'll see what's going to happen with them during the season, but this is not all about Golden State. So this is actually part 1 of the draft, grades by Gary Parrish and my thoughts on those. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. See ya in part 2.